People of the Purple Butterfly here, otherwise known as People of 7 on Twitter and YouTube, people are elsewhere on the internet. My soaps are located at purplebutterfly-soaps.myshopify.com. And I'm here to do a public service announcement, kinda. I seen a title of a video that said, "If I get the shot, my girlfriend will leave me." I didn't bother to watch the video because it was just ridiculous. But there are people that actually think that way, and they don't want to take the shot because I don't know what it is. It's going in my body. It's not FDA approved. It's for emergency use only. This is an emergency, but you know, we will get there. How do I know they're not tracking me? Blah, blah, blah. And all these other right-wing conspiracy type things that people are putting out there. It's called misinformation. Call your doctor. Find out what your doctor says about it. When I first moved to this apartment is for people with disabilities, people with compromised immune systems, people with mental issues, people with physical, mental disabilities, like me and my OCD. That's a whole different issue. If things aren't exactly the way they're supposed to be, I drive myself insane trying to put things right. Certain things you can't put right. You can only clean so much, you know. And then when I'm, organizing this thing over here, then that thing over there needs to be organized. And then I organize that, and then, it's almost like the paint a house theory. Oh, the paint in this room is awful. Let me just fix that. So you paint the living room. And now the dining room looks like it's shabby. So now you have to paint the dining room. Now the dining room and the living room look great, but the kitchen looks a little meh. So now you have to paint the kitchen. And you end up painting your whole house trying to paint one room. Well, OCD is a lot like that. When you try to organize this part, then this part, you will drive yourself insane trying to make sure everything is just the way you like it. So, yeah. And I have my triggers. There are some things that, I check my door 3 times when I'm locking the door, 3 times when I'm entering my house. Now, when you're entering your house, and you already checked the door to make sure it was locked when you left your house, so you already know it's locked. Now you're checking again before you even put the key in to enter your house. That's an OCD thing. I can't help it. That's just what I do. If I don't do it, I'll drive myself back on other things. Like, did I turn off the stove? Even though I haven't used the stove in a month, but I will check that stove for the rest of the day. Did I leave the iron on? When I finish ironing, I unplug it and make sure I put the unplugged iron on top of the ironing board so I can see it, but I will still check. Is that hot? I can't help it. It's an OCD thing. Now, when it comes time to do the shot, I'm opening up my purse. I'm taking out my wallet. Inside my wallet, somewhere, over the rainbow, I have this card. This is my proof that I had my vaccine. Okay, the first time they basically put your next appointment there. The second time they put that you had your shot on this date and this date. That means I had 2 of them. And I stuck it in my wallet for posterity. Other people threw theirs away. I am real sure that if my doctor wanted to, he can tell me exactly when I had my shot, so forth, so on, because it's in my medical records. And unless you are, my doctor and have been authorized by me, nobody's going to know if I had that vaccine or not. HIPAA laws. People are sitting there, oh, you're violating my HIPAA rights. Marjorie Taylor Greene said that she apparently does not know what HIPAA is. Okay, somebody asking you if you had your vaccination is not a violation of your HIPAA rights. Now, if your doctor tell somebody your vaccination status because somebody else asked them, that's a violation of HIPAA. That's a federal law. They will lose their license. They will have to register as being, one of the malpractice people. They will basically lose their livelihood because who's going to trust a doctor that gives out information? That would be a violation of HIPAA. Now, let me tell you how I ended up with 3 shots, not just 2. Okay, when I got here, they had a sign that said, we're doing coronavirus vaccinations. Come get your COVID vaccine, blah, 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 on this date and time. It was a Saturday. It was after 11 a.m. I was awake. I'm like, hey. So I went ahead and got my shot. Most of the people here, I assume, got their shot. And if they didn't, we're not allowed to ask. And if you ask, they're allowed to say, that's none of your freaking business. So you still wouldn't know. Okay. Now, I went and got my shot, and they gave me a card that told when my next appointment was. It said 8 something in the morning. I endeavored to be awake 8 something in the morning on a Saturday. I did not succeed. I overslept. They were still in the building, but they were gone. They was like, oh, you were supposed to be here 2 hours ago, and we're packing up. You have to go to your doctor or clinic to get your second shot, so forth and so on. Now, when I tried to contact the clinic, they was like, oh, we're not doing seconds. You have to do the first or start over, so forth and so on. And I have my chart. I was checking for my doctor's appointment, confirming, okay, I'm supposed to be here at this time, that time. And it popped up the screen. If you haven't had your COVID vaccine, blah, 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 click here. So I clicked it, and it said first or second. Now, when you click second, they say, we're not doing second vaccinations at this time, blah, blah, blah. So I went ahead and clicked first, So I went and had my first vaccine, which was actually my second vaccine. And then when time passed and they actually gave you an appointment that was within your schedule, so they said, would you like morning, afternoon, evening, blah, blah, blah. And then you had to drive to the location to get your shot. I mean, basically, it was slick the way they did it. They took the entire lower floor of the UC Gardner Center, and basically they had you enter at this point, drive to this point, give your ID, blah, 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 drive to this point, get your shot, drive to this part. It's the bottom half of the place, so it's literally a parking lot. So you park here for 10 minutes, then if you're feeling okay, you don't have any symptoms of a reaction, so forth, so on. Now you drive to this part so they could, give you that eyeball, say, yep, you're fine, go on. And then you're exit and you're done. Took 10 minutes of my day, okay? So 10 minutes this day, 10 minutes that day, life went on. I'm fully vaccinated, but I got 3 shots. I got 1 shot at my apartment building, and then I failed to get the second one. So then I got another shot at UC, which was, because my doctor made the appointment. And then the the third shot was at UC. Now, my COVID vaccination card only has the 2 that I had at UC. It was like the first one didn't exist because they don't have a record of it. So I had 3 shots. So hopefully that will equate to, I got that just a little bit extra when it comes time to being protected from the vaccine. So this person going, if I get the shot, my girlfriend will leave me. How would they know? Unless you open your mouth and tell them. Until I opened my mouth and made this video, did you know I've been vaccinated? Did you know I've been stuck 3 times with the COVID vaccine? No. Now, when I went to get the shot, the one that's at my apartment, I asked that lady, every question I could think of. Every question. Like, which one is it? It was the Pfizer. They also had the Moderna at certain occasions. The Johnson & Johnson one-shot deal had not been invented yet. I asked them about side effects. I told him, I said, I have a compromised immune system, I have a blood disorder, and I've just been diagnosed with diabetes. How is this going to affect me? The lady said, well, those are questions I can't actually answer because every individual is different. However, there are certain side effects you need to be aware of, which consists of, and she gave me this litany of stuff that could possibly happen, but not necessarily happen. And when you got the shot, I mean, I was at my apartment at this point in time, and there's 2 chairs in the lobby. They, you know, and there's a community room. They have you sit there for the initial 10 minutes, and then they say, go back to your apartment, do whatever it is that you were doing, give it 30 minutes and see how you feel, so forth and so on. If there's an issue, come back. So that's how they did the isolation thing at my apartment. When I went to get it at UC, they did the bottom floor of the garage that I just told you about. But either way, if there was going to be an issue, you would already know it before you left, if you were allowed to leave. Because people that had an issue, they automatically assume they're having a reaction, or they got an active case of COVID, so forth and so on. So they put them in the hospital or whatever procedure that they were going to do. Before I could even get my vaccine, I had to have a COVID test, and my test was clean. So people that's going, if I get the vaccine, you know, people are going to be mad at me. How would they know? If I get the vaccine, my girlfriend will leave me. How will she know? Unless you open your mouth and tell her. So if you're dealing with people that are saying that kind of nonsense to you, go ahead and get the shot, man. Get the shot. Keep your mouth closed and don't tell them that you got the shot, but get the freaking shot. It will save your life. Let's think about something. When they first did the coronavirus, you know, info to tell you what's going on, and it's a pandemic, and it came from China, and it's now in Italy, and now it done jumped the seas, so now it's in the United States, and now it's here, now it's everywhere. And they didn't even have a vaccine at that point, so you had to mask up and keep your social distance and all that stuff. That was alpha. Because every time this thing gets time and affects more people, so forth, so on, you have alpha, then you have beta, then you have whatever the C is, and now we're at the D, which is delta. Give it enough time, it's going to mutate again, and then it's going to mutate again. The mutations are called variants. If you haven't noticed, each variant has mutated to the point where it's more efficient at killing a human. Hello, we're humans. Let's not take the chance on this mutating again. Get your freaking shot. I'm a Christian woman. I try not to curse. I try not to say things that, shall we say, spicy. But I'm telling you, in language you can understand, get the freaking shot. You can substitute whatever word for freaking that you want. But get the shot. Just get the shot. It's 5 minutes out your day. It will protect you for however long it protects you. They're still doing research on it. The first wave protected whoever got the vaccination. The second wave, you know, now we're at the Delta variant. This wave is affecting mostly kids and people that are 30-ish, 30-somethings. And they're going, well, it's not affecting the old folks and blah, 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 so I don't know what the big deal is. The big deal is this. The old folks got the vaccination when their apartments offered it, when their doctors offered it because they were a certain age and they were first in the list. I'm a woman of a certain age, okay? I don't look it, but yeah, I'm well over 50. I'm closer to 60. So yeah, I was offered the vaccine and I got it. I got 3 jabs, but I still got it. So that meant I'm protected. So when this latest wave hit, it's hitting the people that are unvaccinated, and those people happen to be those Trump supporters that wouldn't get the vaccine even though Trump himself got it, the anti-vaxxers, the kids that say, I don't know what that is, I ain't putting that in my body, and the babies that are too young to get the vaccine, they're now getting sick. So if you can get the vaccine, get the shot. Just get the vaccine. Don't tell nobody you got it if you have those issues with people going, if you get this and we're done. First of all, if you're dealing with someone that's going to talk to you like that, you need to find someone else to be with. Secondly, this is not a game. The coronavirus is real. It's killed over 600,000 people in the United States of America. And however many people that were overseas that had it. And they have their own variants. We have Alpha variant, Beta variant. We're on the Delta variant. They have a variant that's named after the city that had the issue. Like there's an India variant, there's a Brazil variant, because it keeps mutating the longer it goes unchecked. So let's get it checked. Get your shot. Whether you're forthcoming about whether you got the shot or not, that's your choice. If you got people that's going to have issues, then shut up. Don't tell them. The only reason my daughter, she's one of them anti-vaxxer people. She went off for 10. I ain't putting that stuff in my body. I don't know where that came from. You got the people that are, that's emergency use only. It's not FDA approved. When it becomes FDA approved, then I'll get the shot. That might be too late. You got people in the hospital right now that's saying, I should have got the shot. But it's too late for them. And now the only thing they could do is, through a sheet of glass with a cell phone, tell they folks goodbye. You don't want to be one of them people. Go ahead and get the shot. I'm going to say it until your ears bleed. Get the shot. Go ahead, get the shot. If you got people that say, if you get the shot, blah, blah, don't tell them you got it. How they gonna know? Did you know I had the shot? Did you know I had 3 shots? Until I opened my mouth and made this video. No. And if I don't tell another single soul, they won't know unless they watch this video. I don't care if somebody knows I got the shot. That means I had enough common sense in my brain to protect myself from a deadly pandemic. Now let's think about something. The mumps, measles, rubella vaccination, MMR, that we give our babies when they're 4 weeks old. When the mumps, measles, rubella vaccination first came out, it was not FDA approved. It was emergency use, so forth, because people were dying and they had to do something, so they gave them the vaccination. The polio vaccination was never FDA approved. It was experimental, but it showed up saving lives, so they gave everybody the shot so that way they could survive polio, which was killing people, especially kids. It might be FDA approved now. I wouldn't know the answer to that question. All I know is when I was a kid, you had to have your shots. We got a lollipop after. We fussed at our arm hurt for the rest of the day, but life went on. I, to this day, don't know what was in the MMR vaccination I received, the polio vaccination I received, the tetanus vaccination. Still don't know what's in that, but I get a booster every 10 years. Or whenever you cut yourself and, your doctor's going, you're going to need a booster. So if you think about it, because I couldn't tell him when was the last time I had my tetanus booster, which is supposed to be every 10 years, and after a stroke, my memory of when I did all those things was wiped out. So I ended up getting all my vaccinations that couldn't be verified all over again. So by now I've had maybe 6 tetanus vaccines or boosters, and it hasn't been 10 years. The vaccinations for chickenpox, and if you look really close, there's a dent right there from when I had chickenpox. And then later, because life happens, and you know, I survived it and all that, I got the chickenpox vaccine. So, and I can't tell you what's in it. I know that there might be egg in it, because the first thing they did was ask you, are you allergic to egg? Which means there might be egg in the chickenpox vaccine. The influenza vaccine might have egg in it, because the first thing they said, are you allergic to eggs by any chance? But I've had, let's see, the flu vaccine, the N1 flu vaccine, the last flu vaccine. I just had a zoster vaccine, which is for shingles, which is the adult form of chickenpox. Because I've had chickenpox in my life in the past, even though I've had the chickenpox vaccine after that, I had to have that particular booster. So yeah, if you don't know what's in it, you probably never know what's in it, but no, it will save your life. Ain't your life worth 10 minutes out your time? Boom, they gave me a shot. That hurt. Let's put some rubbing alcohol on that. Okay, that helped. Let's wait a couple of days, make sure I don't have any adverse reactions, and then life goes on. Oh, now I have to do the second booster, the second shot, same routine, and everybody kept saying how the second shot was going to be worse than the first shot. I was prepared for that up here, okay. It hurt for a whole day that first time, so rubbing alcohol helped. Tylenol helped. Let me make sure I got some Tylenol in my house and some rubbing alcohol. And basically, it made me sleepy. It was like, okay, I've already taken my meds today. I've already eaten. I'm just going to go ahead and take me a nap. I slept for the rest of the day. I woke up, checked my sugar level, ate some breakfast, put some rubbing alcohol on the sore spot, went on with life. And I can't tell you if I put rubbing alcohol on there the second time or had more Tylenol. I don't remember, so apparently it didn't bother me that much, you know. So, get the shot. Are you tired of me saying it yet? Get the shot. I'll get louder. Get the shot. I'm being nice about it, but get the shot. Please. Pretty please. With a cherry on top. Get the shot. All right? That's all I'm going to say about that. I got to go fuss at maintenance or whatever because somebody left my door open when they weren't even supposed to be in my apartment. So, yeah, and there's going to be a video about that too, because I want public opinion on what you would do. But that's neither here nor there. For right now, we're talking about the COVID vaccination, because all these variants are out here. You got that Johnson & Johnson shot that has killed maybe 10 people, but it's protected over 1 million people. So when people go, oh, well, that shot, it killed a person, or it killed 10 people, but over 1 million people, I mean, I could deal with odds like that. Over 1 million people's had the Johnson & Johnson's one-shot shot. And only 10 have had life-threatening results. You know, those are good odds. I mean, that's 10 out of every million. Can you count to 1 million? I can't on 1 or 2 hands. I can count to 10. That's how many people have had adverse reactions to the one shot. So you put that with 1 million, that's just a drop in the bucket. There was more people that had an adverse reaction to the Pfizer vaccine and the Moderna vaccine. And yeah, most of us are still here. And they took the safeguards. That's why they had you park and wait 10 minutes or sit over there for 10 minutes. So that way they could monitor you and peek at you, eyeball you, make sure that your eyes ain't doing, they're looking for obvious signs of illness. And if you don't have obvious signs of illness, when they ask you, and how are you feeling? That's when you tell them anything that you felt. Oh, I feel nauseous, or oh, I feel dizzy, so forth, so on. If you didn't have any of those issues, then you get to go on your merry way and live the rest of your life knowing that you're protected from the coronavirus, or have some protection from the variants that are out there. The people that are getting sick now that are fully vaccinated, and let's think about that, because this number I actually memorized. 99.7% of the people that are getting deadly ill with the coronavirus Delta variant are unvaccinated, and 0.007, which would be one person out of every who knows how many hundred thousands, are getting sick with breakthrough cases. So that means, for the most part, the coronavirus vaccination has been working. And the ones that got the breakthrough case of coronavirus did not have to go on ventilators. They did not die. They did not get very, very sick. So basically for them, it was like the cold or the flu. I've had the flu. It's a couple of days of misery, but you get to live and continue on with your life. So, yeah, get the shot. This has been People7 on Twitter and YouTube, People elsewhere on the internet. My soaps are located at PurpleButterfly Soaps.myshopify.com, and get the shot, man.